Hey everybody, it's Jeff from New York and we're back in Orlando checking out SeaWorld. This is going to be part 2 of perhaps a 3-part SeaWorld video series. We'll see how long part 2 runs, and if I need to, I will add a part 3. But if you missed part 1, you don't have to watch them in order, but it's a good idea to do that because we're walking around the park in a somewhat organized manner. But in part 1, we visited the Stingray Lagoon and petting area, Dolphin Cove, the SeaWorld Rescue Center, the Manta Ray roller coaster, the Turtle Trek Aquarium, the Manatee Rehabilitation Area, Journey to Atlantis, as well as the aquarium that's there. And we ended up here at the Kraken ride, or the Kraken roller coaster, and that's what's going to lead us off here in part 2. Lots more to see and explore here in SeaWorld, so let's get going. As we work ourselves around this huge park SeaWorld is, we're leaving the Kraken roller coaster area and heading towards the Antarctica area or exhibition here at SeaWorld. And as you can see, there's no shortage of places to stop off and snack. This is more or less a self-serve snacking area, and they pretty much have everything here that you might need for a quick bite. The Antarctic area is also home to the show Empire of the Penguins, but the line was 35 to 45 minutes long. This was my last day here in Orlando. I had a plane to catch. I could not wait on any lines in this park. I wanted to get the whole park in, so I did miss the Penguin show. However, from what I understand, it really stinks in there, so I'm kind of glad I missed it. I heard people saying how bad it stunk inside, and I really do believe it. I've been to penguin exhibits before in New York City as well as New Orleans, and penguins really do stink. So again, I'm kind of glad I missed it, and I'm sure the friend I made on the airplane ride home is kind of glad I missed it as well. I think earlier I called this the Antarctic area. It's actually the Antarctica area. And all these glaciers and icebergs are kind of surreal considering it's about 90 degrees and 100% humidity right now. Coming up is a sign that shows how far world cities are from right here at SeaWorld or Orlando, Florida. How far are we from other cities here on the New York channel? And perhaps from Great Britain, where I have a lot of subscribers? Well, let's ask my girlfriend Alexa. Alexa, come here, honey. Alexa, how far is New Orleans from Orlando?
From Orlando, New Orleans is 639 miles away by car.
Alexa, how far is Las Vegas from Orlando?
From Orlando, Las Vegas is 2,355.6 miles away by car.
Alexa, do you like to gamble?
I did the math, and I don't like the odds of answering that question.
Alexa, how far is New York City from Orlando?
From Orlando, New York is 1,078.1 miles away by car.
Alexa, how far is Great Britain from Orlando?
Orlando, Florida is 4,207 miles from Great Britain as the crow flies.
I guess that would be a straight line because you can't drive from Orlando to Great Britain. And for those of you wondering, I met Alexa at the Parasol Up Bar at the Wynn Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas. I was attracted to her right away. She's simply brilliant. Alexa, what's your favorite city in the whole wide world?
Definitely Seattle. It's my hometown.
She moved in a couple years ago. She's a wealth of information, but not much help with the mortgage. Alexa, you're looking good tonight.
Thank you.
By the way, for those of you with Alexa in your households, I sincerely apologize for the chaos I just created for the last 2 minutes. And we've been watching the feeding of the sea lions here at the sea lion area of SeaWorld. This is Freddy Mercury the fish. Don't eat him, he's loaded with mercury. He's hidden somewhere in this SeaWorld video here. Be the first to spot him and you'll get a shout out on an upcoming video. Just leave a comment below on the timestamp where you found Freddy Mercury. And speaking of shout outs, a shout out to Pac-Man who found Clarice the Miss America crown in my latest Atlantic City video, the Steel Pier Tour. Also, an honorable mention shout out to Wise Malik and Erica Brand who noticed that Clarissa Crown was never shown in that video Steel Pier as far as what she looks like, but she was hidden and Pac-Man found her, so good eye for all you guys actually. In the background there you can see the Sea Lion and Otter Stadium and lots of beautiful water features here. Obviously it's an aquarium type of a place, but SeaWorld also has lots of waterfalls and things like that. Lots of nice water features that you can watch and do some photo opportunities in front of here. This is the Sky Tower here at SeaWorld. It's a 400-foot sky tower that stood here since the park opened in the summer of 1974. It adds a dose of a retro cool to the day's adventure, and you can actually see most of Orlando from the tippity top. Hey, I just came back after taking a break from editing this video, and I found out that Empire of the Penguin is not a penguin exhibit at all. It's a ride, and an actually cool ride at that. So I'm thinking it really doesn't smell that bad in there, unless, of course, someone gets sick on the ride, then it probably does smell bad. But the fact still stands, penguin exhibits are really smelly. The gift shop we're in right now isn't your typical gift shop here at SeaWorld. This one's a little more high-end with some better jewelry, not so many t-shirts. Hey, if you're enjoying this video, please hit that subscribe button and smash that thumbs up. It really does help the channel out. You can rent paddle boats on this lake here in the middle of SeaWorld. The paddle boats are in the shape of huge pink flamingos. Lots of restaurants and attractions in this area, including Voyager's Smokehouse, Seaport Theater, Flamecraft Bar, and Seafire Grill. A good tip to keep in mind when you're vacationing and visiting these parks is if you're at the front desk of your hotel and you see a map, like a map of SeaWorld or a map of Disney World or Universal Studios, take it with you because a lot of these parks don't have them on hand. I remember when I was walking around this area, the Caribbean market here, someone had asked me where I got my map from because the park had none, and unfortunately I had to tell them I got them back at the hotel. And it's a good tip to take them if you got them, and then if you don't need it, well, you have an extra one at that point. No big deal. This area here is called the Dolphin Nursery, and you may have noticed flags and little pop-up tents of small, tiny restaurants here in SeaWorld as we're walking around. The weekend that I was here was the SeaWorld 7 Seas Food Festival. It's a weekend-long food festival here at SeaWorld. Some of the markets represented here at the food festival include the Caribbean market, the All-American market, the Polynesian Island market, Italian market, North Atlantic market, Mediterranean market, Brazilian market, Asian market, vegan market, sweets market, German market, Gulf Coast market, and Mexican market. Lots of choices here. The festival also has some live concerts during the weekend as well. No shortage of stores here at SeaWorld, that's for sure. This is Cypress Bakery, and out of all the stores I've been in so far today at SeaWorld, this one definitely smells the best. Here's some cool art. This dining and shopping sign looks like it just has some plain old fish attached to it, but upon closer inspection, the fish are made out of bottle caps. Pretty cool. Don't forget to check out my book, 50 Attractions and Many Tips When Visiting Las Vegas. It's down at the bottom in the description of this video that you're watching. It's only $4.99, instantly downloaded to your computer, tons of pictures and fantastic tips if you plan on visiting Sin City. As I approached this area on the right, I was wondering why it was fenced off not only on the sides but on the top as well, and it turns out there's beautiful birds inside, colorful and making unusual sounds. I really like this area here. Dun 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 dun. And it's only fitting that after we're coming out of the Shark Encounter attraction, we come across the Mako roller coaster. Coming up here on the right where that pink sign is where you rent the paddle boats that I was talking about earlier, the ones that are shaped like flamingos. Here we have the Nautilus Theater, and we're coming upon Infinity Falls, which is where you're going to see those rapids coming up shortly. Infinity Falls is also home to the Waterway Grill as well as the Pretzel Kitchen. And here we have the Brazilian Market, part of that SeaWorld 7 Seas Food Festival. This is part of that Infinity Falls attraction I was talking about, and it looks pretty inviting right now. Its temperature's really climbing and it's very humid right now. Looks like a ride I'd like to be on. Hands down, this is the wettest part of the park. Whee! And now we're coming upon even more outdoor markets of the SeaWorld 7 Seas Food Festival, including some with adult beverages, just what I was looking for. Now, you can walk around the park and do these markets a la carte, but if you're really hungry and you want to experiment a little bit, they sell packages. You can sample 10 different markets for $60. They'll give you a sample of some of the food at 10 different markets for that price. Or for another $15 for $75, you can sample items at 15 markets throughout the park. Now here's a colorful arcade, but it looks like all they have are those crane machines. You know, those machines that are packed so tight that the crane has no chance of picking anything up. And as we continue to make our way around SeaWorld, we come upon one of the last areas, Sesame Street Land. Bring your family to the neighborhood your favorite furry friends call home. Take a stroll down Sesame Street, visit Elmo and the gang, enjoy exciting rides, and lots more. Now, if you watch my videos and my Orlando videos, you know that Disney World Hollywood Studios has a whole section on the Muppets. Disney actually owns the rights to the Muppets. However, they don't own the rights to Sesame Street. Sesame Street itself is exclusive to SeaWorld here in Orlando. It's kind of crazy, but if you think of it this way, if the Muppets are not on Sesame Street, like in all the Muppet movies, Disney has the rights to them. If the Muppets are on Sesame Street, like if Kermit's doing something on Sesame Street with Oscar, then Disney has no rights to that at all. It's really fuzzy legally, no pun intended, but hey, that's why the world has lawyers. Now we're almost done with our visit here to SeaWorld. There's just a couple more areas to visit, one of them being Wild Arctic, as well as Altitude Burgers. And there's also the Icebreaker roller coaster, which is supposed to be an extreme roller coaster. It wasn't open while I was here. They're still building it, but from what I understand at this point, it's finished. I'm just not sure if it's opened or not yet, but it's supposed to be a really crazy extreme roller coaster. This is it coming up here on the left. And that track that goes straight up and looks incomplete is actually complete. You go straight up and then come straight back down backwards. And that's it for part 2 of SeaWorld, and that pretty much covers the whole park. I thought it might take 3 parts, but we managed to do it in 2. If you missed part 1, check out the link below in the description, and you can catch up on what you missed at the beginning of this adventure we had here. All in all, it was a fun day, and I hope you had fun too. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please like, comment, ask some questions, and most importantly, subscribe by clicking on the button on the left. You can visit all of my New York videos by clicking on the top right, or check out my videos on other favorite places to visit by clicking on the bottom right. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you around the city.